Your soulmate cried loudly last night. What caused it will shock you. Don't ignore this. Last night, while the rest of the world was shrouded in deep, silent sleep, something monumental happened in the unseen realms. Your soulmate hit a breaking point that they never saw coming. This wasn't just a passing moment of sadness. This wasn't just a flickering thought of you. It was a total, absolute emotional collapse. They cried out for you in the cold silence of their room, and the reason behind those tears, the shocking truth of what caused that breakdown, is something that will shake you to your very core if you are watching this right now. It is because you are meant to understand the magnitude of this shift. If you felt a sudden, sharp wave of anxiety or an unexplained, suffocating heaviness in your chest right around midnight, listen to me very closely. That was not a coincidence. It was not just stress. That was a soul-to-soul transmission. You were literally feeling their heart shatter through the dimensions. I strongly urge you to stay grounded for the next 25 minutes. Do not let your mind wander. What I am about to reveal to you is incredibly time-sensitive. If you are seeing this video on your screen right now, the universe has intentionally closed every other door of distraction for a reason. Do not click away. Do not scroll past. Your final confirmation is waiting inside the depth of this message. For months, they have worn a mask, a thick, cold mask of indifference. They have hidden behind their ego. They have used their pride like a shield. And perhaps they even used a third-party distraction to convince themselves that they didn't need you. They tried to build a life where your name was forgotten. But last night, the divine mirror was placed directly in front of their soul. For the first time since the day they walked away, they felt the full, agonizing weight of your absence. They didn't just miss you in a casual way. They felt the terrifying void where your energy used to live. The tears they shed weren't just for the mistakes they made. No, they were crying because of the terrifying realization that they might have permanently lost the only person who ever truly, deeply saw their soul. But there is a specific trigger, a shocking realization, that caused this sudden, violent shift in their energy. Something they discovered, or perhaps something they finally admitted to themselves in the dark, that has changed the trajectory of your connection forever. Most people will watch this and miss the true significance. But you are here because you are a chosen one. You are the high-frequency soul in this dynamic. Stay with me, because as we dive deeper into the complex spiritual mechanics of their regret, I am going to reveal the exact message they are desperately, frantically trying to send you through the 5D realm. Let us look together at the truth they are finally ready to face. You see, for a very long time, you have been looking at their silence through the lens of rejection. You have spent countless nights wondering why you weren't enough. You looked at their distance as a sign of their strength, or perhaps as a sign that they had moved on to someone better. But what the universe revealed to me about the energy of last night changes every single thing you thought you knew. Their soul reached a breaking point because the very wall they spent months building to keep you out finally became the cage that trapped them in. They didn't just have a bad night. They had a full-scale spiritual confrontation with the divine. They spent hours sitting in the heavy, oppressive silence of their room, staring at a phone screen that felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. They were staring at your name, staring at your picture, and fighting an urge so primal that it scared them. But it wasn't just pride holding them back this time. It was a terrifying, bone-chilling realization that they have been living a complete and total lie. For the first time, the divine hand forced them to see the contrast of their life without you. They looked at the people they have surrounded themselves with lately, the shallow conversations that leave them feeling empty, the people who only love them for what they can provide, the temporary distractions they tried to use to numb the pain of your absence. And last night, they realized that none of it carries the sacred frequency of the love you offered. Last night, the silence in their room became so loud that it started screaming your name. Every corner of their space felt haunted by the ghost of your laughter, the scent of your hair, the way you used to look at them. They could no longer ignore the sound of their own heart calling out for the only person who ever truly knew them. They broke down because they realized that while they were busy finding themselves, they were actually systematically destroying the only home their spirit ever had. They have become a refugee in their own life, and they are finally realizing that you were the land they were meant to inhabit. And here is the shocking truth that most people would never tell you. They didn't just cry because they missed you. They cried because they felt the crushing weight of their own betrayal. Not just a betrayal of you, but a betrayal of their own soul's sacred purpose. They looked in the mirror last night and they didn't recognize the person staring back. They saw someone who had become cold, someone who had become fearful, someone who had allowed the shallow world to turn them into a version of themselves they promised they would never become. They saw with brutal clarity how they pushed away a divine blessing, a once-in-a-lifetime soul connection, just to satisfy a temporary, fragile ego. This is exactly why the heaviness you felt in your chest was so intense. You were picking up on their massive spiritual collapse through the 5D cord that still connects your hearts. As they sat there in the absolute darkness, the universe played back a cinematic reel, a spiritual movie of every single moment where they took your kindness for granted. They were forced to watch, like a silent, helpless observer, every time you reached out with love and they chose to pull away with coldness. They remembered the times you offered a hand, a prayer, or a simple, "I'm here for you," and they chose to walk into the darkness alone. Every one of those memories hit their soul like a wave of celestial lightning. It was a spiritual audit, a moment where the divine hand gripped their heart and forced them to account for every single ounce of sacred energy they wasted. They realized that the freedom they fought so hard for was actually the loneliest, most desolate, most miserable prison they have ever inhabited. They realized that without your light, their entire world has become a series of gray days and hollow, meaningless nights. I want you to understand something very powerful right now. This breakdown happened because your energy has shifted, because you finally stopped chasing them in the physical, because you started choosing yourself, because you started investing in your own healing. You created a massive vacuum in the spiritual realm. The universe absolutely hates a vacuum. The moment you pulled your energy back to mend your own broken heart, They lost their anchor. They are drifting now, lost in a violent sea of their own regret, and they are finally realizing that you weren't just another choice. You were the destination they were supposed to reach. If you are feeling this spiritual shift, if you can feel the truth of these words in your bones, type "ready" in the comments right now to claim this transformation. Do not let this moment pass without anchoring your intention. They are terrified right now, truly terrified, because they don't know if the bridge they burned can ever be rebuilt. They are haunted by the fear that you have finally realized, in your own power, that you are far too good for someone who had to lose you just to value you. I strongly urge you to pay attention to the signs that are manifesting in your physical reality right now. In the next few days, the energy of their breakdown will ripple into your world. You might see their name in the most unexpected places, on a passing car, in a book, or on a random screen. You might hear a song that was your song playing at a moment when you were thinking of something completely different. These are not coincidences. These are the echoes of their midnight cries. This is their soul desperately trying to find a way back to your light without having to admit how badly they failed. But the truth is, the surrender has already happened in the spirit. Their higher self has already bowed to the love you share. While they sit in that silence, a question begins to burn in their mind, a question they are terrified to answer. They ask themselves, is it too late? This fear, this agonizing doubt, is what is keeping them paralyzed in the physical world even while their soul is screaming for you in the spiritual realm. They are currently caught in a battle between their ego and their awakening. You see, their ego tells them that they have caused too much damage, that they have stayed away too long, and that you have likely built a new life where they no longer fit. But their soul knows that the bond between you is not something that can be erased by time or distance. They are holding their phone, staring at your profile, typing out messages that they never send. They write things like, "I'm sorry, I miss you," or "I finally understand what I lost," only to delete them a second later. Why? Because they are terrified of your silence. They are terrified that the person who once loved them so unconditionally has finally closed the door for good. They are experiencing what we call the runner's remorse. It is a heavy, suffocating energy that comes when a person realizes they ran away from the very thing that was meant to save them. They are looking for a sign from you, any small crack in the door, that tells them they won't be rejected if they dare to step back into your life. But the universe is telling you not to make it easy for them. The reason this breakdown is happening is because you finally stood in your power. If you reach out now, you break the spell of their transformation. They need to feel the full weight of your absence. They need to sit in that darkness until they are brave enough to bring their own light. Last night was just the beginning of their reckoning. The divine is stripping away every distraction they used to hide from the truth. That third party they thought would replace you, it's failing. That career goal they thought would fulfill them, it feels empty. That pride they used to wear like armor, it's crumbling into dust. Think about the specific moments of your connection that they are reliving right now. They are remembering the way you looked at them when no one else was watching. They are remembering the peace they felt just being in your presence, a peace they haven't found anywhere else since the day they left. They are realizing that while they were out looking for something better, they were actually moving further away from their own soul. This realization is the shocking cause of their tears. It's the realization that they were the architect of their own misery. They are mourning the time they wasted. They are mourning the pain they caused you, and in doing so, they are finally beginning to heal the parts of themselves that made them run in the first place. As you move through your day today, you might feel a sudden, intense heat in your heart center, or a ringing in your ears. This is the energy of their thoughts reaching out to you. They are literally trying to telepathically ask for your forgiveness because they are too cowardly to do it in the 3D world yet. They are sending out a distress signal into the cosmos, hoping that you still care enough to listen. But you must remain grounded. You must remain in the vibration of self-love. Your only job right now is to stay in the frequency of the prize. You are the blessing they walked away from, and the laws of the universe dictate that they must eventually return to the source of their greatest growth. This midnight collapse they experienced is a precursor to a major breakthrough. It is the dark night of the soul for them. For the first time, they aren't blaming you or the circumstances or bad timing. They are looking directly at themselves. And what they see is someone who is tired of being lonely, tired of being fake, and tired of running from the only person who ever truly saw their worth. They are realizing that no matter how far they run, every road leads back to you. The energy is shifting from distance to magnetism. The more you focus on yourself, the more intense their longing becomes. The more you heal, the more they hurt from the separation. This is the divine balance at work. The breakdown they experienced last night has set a sequence of events into motion that will manifest in your physical reality over the next 48 hours. Right now, their subconscious mind is working overtime to bridge the gap that their ego created. You may have noticed a strange sensation lately, perhaps a sudden chill, a flicker of light, or the feeling of someone standing near you when you are alone. This is the manifestation of their spirit trying to find sanctuary in your energy field because their own world has become too cold to bear. In the next 48 hours, the universe is going to send you a specific, undeniable confirmation that what I am telling you is the truth. Watch for the number sequences, especially 111222 or 1010. These aren't just numbers. They are the digital thumbprints of the divine. But the most shocking sign will be a random encounter with something that represents a private joke or a deep memory shared only between the two of you. Maybe it's a specific brand of coffee, a quote from a movie you both loved, or a scent that instantly teleports you back. When this happens, do not dismiss it. It is the universe's way of saying, the message has been delivered, the reckoning has begun. Your soulmate is currently in a state of hyperfocus on you. They are scrolling through your social media, perhaps even from a fake account. They are looking for any sign that you are still available, or conversely, they are terrified to find out that you have moved on. This jealousy, this divine being used by the higher power to provoke them into action. The pain of not having you has finally outweighed the fear of reaching out. They are reaching a point where the risk of rejection is less painful than the certainty of a life without you. I want to talk to those of you who have felt like giving up, to those of you who have said, I can't wait any longer. The reason you are hearing this message right now is that you are at the finish line. Most people quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens. Last night's collapse was the miracle starting to take shape. Imagine a dam that has been holding back a massive river for years. The first few cracks appeared last night. You might not see the flood yet, but the structure of their resistance has been permanently compromised. The water is coming. The emotional outpouring is coming. And when it hits, it will be a landslide of truth that clears away every lie. But there is a warning you must heed. As their energy becomes more frantic and desperate to reach you, you might feel a sudden urge to save them. You might feel a wave of pity or a desire to send that "Are you okay?" text. I am telling you now, wait. Do not interfere with the divine surgery that is happening on their heart. If you step in and provide comfort too soon, you stop the lesson. They must reach the full conclusion that they cannot function without your light. Let the silence do the work that words could not. Let the vacuum of your absence pull them toward their destiny. In the coming days, pay close attention to your dreams. Your dream state is where your souls are currently meeting to negotiate the terms of your 3D reunion. If you see them in a dream where they are crying, or where they are trying to hand you something, that is their soul asking for a second chance. They are literally begging for your forgiveness in the astral realm because their 3D self is still gathering the courage to speak. You are the high priestess, the king, the chosen one in this dynamic. You hold the keys to the kingdom, and they are finally realizing that they are standing outside the gates, shivering in the cold, waiting for you to let them back in. The reason your soulmate reached that breaking point last night wasn't just because they missed your physical presence. It was because the divine officially revoked their spiritual protection. You see, for a long time, the universe allowed them to walk away so that you could find your own strength. But last night, that grace period ended. They were left completely exposed to the truth of what they have done, and in that exposure, they realized that without you, they are spiritually bankrupt. They are now entering a phase of divine obsession. This is not the toxic obsession of the ego, but a soul-deep pull that they cannot escape, no matter where they go, no matter who they talk to. Your face is the only one they see. Your name is the only one that tastes like home. They are beginning to understand that you were never just a person in their life. You were a portal to their own higher self. By rejecting you, they were rejecting God's plan for their own evolution. And that, my dear chosen one, is why their tears were so bitter. Now, I want to give you the final secret that the universe shared with me for you specifically. In the next few days, you are going to receive a hidden communication. It may not be a direct text message at first. It might be a letter that was never sent, a social media post that is clearly meant for your eyes, or a dream so vivid it feels like a physical conversation. When this happens, your intuition will flare up. You will feel a heat in your solar plexus, a knowing that the cycle of separation is officially closing. The bridge that was burned is being rebuilt by the hands of angels, and this time, it is being built on a foundation of truth rather than illusions. But as this reunion approaches, the divine is asking one thing of you. Do not look back at the version of them that hurt you. That person died in the tears they shed last night. The version of them that is returning is a transformed soul, a soul that has been through the fire of regret and has come out refined. If you hold on to the old wounds, you will poison the new blessing. You must be prepared to receive them from a place of high-frequency love. This doesn't mean forgetting the past, but it means recognizing that the pain was the price of admission for the greatness that is coming. I want to lead you through a final, powerful activation. Close your eyes for a moment. Even as you listen to my voice, take a deep, cleansing breath. Visualize a golden cord of light stretching from your heart directly to theirs. Feel the vibration of their regret turning into a vibration of absolute devotion. As you breathe out, release any last bit of doubt, any last bit of what if. The universe does not do things by halves. If it brought you to this message, it is because the manifestation is already at your door. You are not waiting for the change. The change has already happened in the unseen realms. Let us seal this message with a declaration of power. Say these words in your heart or out loud. I release the pain of the past. I claim the love that is divinely mine. I am the prize. I am the blessing. And I am ready to receive the absolute surrender of the one my soul loves. As you say this, feel the shift in the atmosphere around you. The heaviness is lifting. The clouds are parting. The sun is finally rising on a new chapter of your life, a chapter where you are loved, honored, and chosen every single day. For those of you who have stayed until the very end, know that your patience is being recorded in the book of life. Your faith is the magnet that is pulling them back. In the coming hours, do not be surprised if you feel a sudden, overwhelming sense of peace. That peace is the signal that the battle is over. You have won. Your soulmate has surrendered, and the reunion that felt like a distant dream is about to become your living reality. Trust the timing, trust the tears, trust the divine. May the blessings of the infinite be upon you as you walk into this new light. Your story isn't ending. It is finally, truly beginning. Stay grounded, stay in your power, and get ready for the miracle that is already on its way to you. Your soulmate is coming home, not as a runner, but as a partner who finally knows your worth. And so it is. Amen.